Hey guys, I wanted to talk about toddler sleep or toddler and baby sleep difficulties. Not because I have any advice for you, because we have not found success with this. And also, if you have a kid who is not sleeping well, it's really super annoying when everyone tells you how to fix it because they think that because it worked for their kids, it will work for yours. And kids are all different, and sleep has been the number one parenting struggle that we have faced. It's been tough. So so I guess my reason for making this is just to provide support for anyone else who has a non-sleeping kid and to tell you you are not the only one, because I know it's really easy to feel victimized by the lack of sleep that you're getting and the strategies you try not working. And it can feel like you are alone. So you're not. Other people aren't sleeping too. So Finley is 3, and against all the advice of the books I read when he was young, I did nurse and rock him to sleep for a lot of his babyhood, and I do not regret that. I think that's really precious time. It was very instinctual for me to do it that way, and it didn't make sense to me to do it differently. So we did that, and then eventually at 12 months, he slept through the night, and from 12 to 15 months, he slept well. Like, he slept all night long in his crib, no big deal, and we were thinking, wow, okay, took us longer to get there than some other kids, but yay, we made it. He's sleeping. It's wonderful. And then it just stopped forever since then, since 15 months. So then we tried a lot of gradual approaches where we'd lay him down awake but drowsy, and I would nurse him beforehand, but then not to sleep, and then we try to like sneak out of the room, that whole deal. We did that for a long time, and he just continued to wake up multiple times through the night. And we just did that forever until he turned 2, and then I was like so freaking tired because I hadn't slept in 2 years, and I am pretty against crying it out. I'm not comfortable with it. Some people are, and if that works for you, that works for you, but I am really not comfortable with it. My husband really wanted to try it by that point because we were pretty desperate. So we really monitored crying it out, where we would do like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and 12 minutes. And like 12 was really my max. Like, I really couldn't handle more than that. And it was really tough. And I had my husband do most of it because I just really couldn't handle it. This first night was terrible, like everyone says it would be, and then the second night he slept, and we were like, okay, seriously? Like, that's all we had to do, and what have we been waiting for? Why haven't we tried this? Like, I shouldn't have been so strict about that. And he slept the next night, and then we were like, oh my gosh, and then it went away, and he never slept again. So it wasn't worth it for us. Like, we kept trying it for 2 weeks just to make sure that we actually, it was 17 days. I remember this because we started January 1st, and it was January 17th where I was like, this is not working. Give it up. So it didn't work. My kid is too stubborn for that. Like, we would just go in and go in and go in and go in, and then we would do the like, oh, let's not talk to him and give him a lot of attention. Just lay him back down, pat his back, leave the room, whatever. That didn't work. He will out-stubborn you any day. Like, this would be hours to get him down, and then he still won't sleep through the night. So it's like, why are we spending like hours putting him to bed, and then we're even more tired? So by that time, he was a few months over 2, and we were sleeping worse than we've ever slept before when we tried the modified crying it out. So then my husband's really not into co-sleeping. I'm really into co-sleeping, so that's hard too when you have parents that have different viewpoints, like where I'm here, he's here, but he's both of our kids, and so we have to compromise and work together. But by that point, like, we were so tired that I was like, you know what, I like have to sleep in his room because I will die if I don't sleep. Like, I am so tired, because I was doing a lot of the night parenting since for the first year I wasn't working. So since my husband didn't need to go to work, I thought that was fair to do it. But then I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it, and I was like, I just can't. Like, I'm just gonna sleep in there. And for 6 months we did that, and he slept really well. He has a full-size bed on the floor, and it worked. I was beginning my second pregnancy. He was sleeping, I was sleeping, my husband was sleeping. It wasn't ideal. I'd like to sleep in the bed with my husband, but everyone was sleeping, and that was really all that mattered. And then it became summer, and my husband was home for the summer as a teacher, and he said, okay, this is crazy. Like, we're having another baby. Let's get Finley in his own room, sleeping by himself. I know you're not comfortable with Cry It Out, so I'll research something else and I'll take this over. And I was like, great, because I am pregnant and I need to sleep, and I'm like totally not willing to do it because we're sleeping the way it is and all that. So anyway, my husband was really great, and he got this book. It's called like The Good Night Sleep Tight or The Night Lady, or I don't know. I don't remember. I can find it and put it in the comments. I really like the approach. It's the gradual approach, and you start like the first night, you know, like touching them and rubbing their back as they fall asleep. You do that for a few nights, and then you do a few nights like right by their bed but not touching them, and then you do a few nights like halfway out in the middle of their room, and then you do a few nights at the door and a few nights outside the door and a few nights with the door closed. So you're there to comfort them the whole time, but they're learning how to fall asleep independently. And in theory, in the middle of the night when they wake up because they went to bed independently, they will put themselves back to bed. And the problem is that is the theory. And in our case, it doesn't matter if he goes to bed by himself. He's still going to wake up in the middle of the night. So then right when he turned 3, when our daughter was born, it was like a miracle. He started sleeping through the night for like 3 weeks. And we're like, okay, yay, like finally, just in time to wake up all the time with a new baby. So we're still not sleeping, but at least we're just doing one night, you know, one kid night parenting. And then he stopped doing that again. And then as of like 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was getting up as much as 6 times a night. I would say on average it was more around 2, but there were bad nights where it was 6. And then I would be nursing Fiona in her nursery, even though her bassinet's still in our room. So I would get her, take her to her nursery, nurse her, bring her back, and then Finley would get up. I'd go in there, lay with him, trying to get him back to bed, and then go back in our bed. And it was like musical beds. Like I was just like bunk, 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 like all over the house, and was like, okay, I'm not sleeping. This is crazy. So I was able to talk to my husband, and we made a compromise that he would go to bed in his room in hopes that the end goal is that he will sleep through the night in his own room by himself in his bed. And that if he wakes up in the middle of the night, then instead of us like playing games with him and trying to get him back to bed, that he is allowed to get up into our bed and sleep in there for the rest of the night so that we can all sleep. And he's a very active sleeper and he kicks a lot. So I bought one of those bars that you can put up on the side of the bed so he won't roll off. So he's not disturbing my husband's sleep because he's on my side. And I'm used to sleeping with him anyway because I slept with him a lot. And that's fine. I don't feel like I'm losing too much sleep with him doing that. Sometimes I don't even like hear him come into bed. I don't even know he's there. I just like wake up and I'm like, oh, there he is. He's like a little cat. He just like snuck on in. So that's what we're doing right now. We'll see how long my husband's comfortable with that. And, you know, we're trying to move into a hopefully slightly bit larger house. Maybe our bedroom would be bigger. And when he's older, we could have like a sleeping bag on the floor. And if he is still wanting to come in the middle of the night, then like maybe he could sleep on our floor, so he's still in our room, but then maybe would decide like that's not as comfortable as sleeping in my own bed is. So I don't know. Those are the things we've done. Maybe you've done these things, or maybe you got an idea of something to try with your non-sleeping kid if you have one. I'm assuming you do if you're watching this. So it's just so frustrating. I'm not going to lie and say it's not. I mean, I love being a mom. I love being his mom. I love him and everything about him. And it's just still really hard to not sleep and for a long time, like years. So if you're in that boat, then I feel for you and I wish you a night's sleep soon. And just remember, I have to tell myself all the time that I will sleep sometime. Like, I don't think that in middle school he's going to be like waking up and coming in our bed. So sleep is around the corner. It might be a few years, but it's there. So anyways, good luck. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.